Okay. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Amanda from Crop Science, and welcome to Brad from Slalom. So Amanda, for many years, Crop Science has been investing in capabilities to put your data to work and really go after your mission of health for all and hunger for none. Can you tell us, where did you start and sort of what has changed since you got going?
Well, the industry of agriculture faces some pretty significant challenges, from global population growth to the need to restore natural resources, and of course the threat of climate change. So since about 2014, we've been working with AWS to enhance our data science capabilities in order to tackle these big problem spaces. And one of the best examples we have in this space is around our imagery analytics pipeline. When we develop products in our pipeline, we characterize their performance now using an ever-growing data set. It's now expanded to over 200 million phenotyping data points, over 2 petabytes of data, and about 20,000 UAV flights. So now we're able to use data and models in a way to make better decisions about what to advance in the pipeline than we were before. But one of the things we observed is that as our data science practice matured, we needed a more integrated, connected, seamless approach to fully support the entire model lifecycle. So out of that was born this concept of a decision science ecosystem. And fortunately, we were able to partner with Slalom and with AWS to bring that technical platform to life.
And so when was that, Amanda, that you started to work with Slalom? How did that get started?
Well, we've worked with them for many years. They have really become a trusted and strategic partner for us. Slalom really brings a deep understanding of our technology stack and our organizational culture. So that has allowed them to embed pretty seamlessly into our internal teams and truly become an extension of our engineering capability. And so ultimately, to make the decision to choose Slalom was pretty simple. We needed a partner with deep technical expertise and somebody that understood how that technology was being applied at other companies in different problem spaces, so that we could focus on what really matters and not reinvent the wheel and instead leverage their deep perspective.
So, companies like Bayer, you're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in your industry and sort of raising the bar. You need to move with speed and agility. There's uncertainty, and of course you need to see impact. And one might expect that these dimensions become supercharged in the face of AI. So Brad, I was curious to hear from you. How do you think about Slalom's role as a partner and helping companies like Bayer accelerate that time from sort of prototyping to realizing value?
Thank you. Amanda, I am hoping you brought a drone.
I left it at home. It wouldn't fit in my suitcase.
So Colleen, at Slalom, we love pushing boundaries. We like to be the first ones. We were one of the very original Amazon AWS partners. One of the best decisions we ever made. Our whole purpose at Slalom is to help leaders dream bigger, move faster, build better tomorrows for all. And early last year, as many in the world were getting exposure to Gen AI for the first time, we had a bold commitment. And we decided to build POCs for 1,000 organizations in 100 days. And we did that. Many of them were the first in the industry to be built on Bedrock. They were fantastic. These were the demos that were getting shown in many boardrooms. And so what do you do with 1,000 POCs? The next thing we did, we built the most comprehensive calculator I've ever seen, a Gen AI ROI calculator to figure out what was investable. So if I look at our partnership with Bayer, it was really 3 big things. One, it was focusing on economic value from day one. This was not a POC where we're hoping it would create value. Number 2, it was focused on life and purpose, short, medium, long term. We're about 8 billion people in the world today. If we continue to get 1% increases, that's an 80 billion person planet in just 250 years, and focusing on the purpose of sustainable food supply. And 3, we really worked on the relationship. Our teams love working with yours almost every day. And really our philosophy was, it was okay if there was some red and yellow along the way, as long as we were green at the end, on time, on budget. If I was to sum it up, we get to work with amazing technology. We get to help you create massive economic value, save the world, and love what we do every day.
Thank you, Brad. So, in my team, often we'll say, well, with software, anything is possible. It's really just code. And so, but with Gen AI, the boundaries of what's possible start to extend. And the real challenge is often not the code, but the way it impacts processes, the way it impacts people, how we work, where people spend their time, and ultimately our customers. So Amanda, how do you sort of create that culture of change in Bayer to be able to embrace these new technologies and actually do the hard work of the change management?
I love that question. I think first and foremost, it's about becoming outcome driven. If you can align around a common what to achieve, you can create so much more space and flexibility on the how that you can really explore together. And if you pair that with a natural curiosity and a test and learn environment, you really have a recipe for success for exploring new technology. I also think you do sometimes need to act as a catalyst in your business to sort of introduce the art of the possible. And so we're really intentional about embedding digital talent in with our business teams. And that's something that we try and model ourselves in our engineering community as well, where we create access to the latest and greatest technology for those engineers, and we encourage experimentation. In fact, recently, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were able to deploy Amazon Q Developer, already seeing some really important improvements in productivity, and that's really what it's about. It's about enabling our teams to solve problems for customers and design better systems instead of doing non-value add tasks. And when you create an environment that enables that, you support not only your own teams, but also partners like Slalom who are going to come in, bring new ideas and new insights, and this really allows those ideas to land.
And so, Brad, maybe you can tell us a little more about what is unique about Slalom's approach to change management, and how do you think about enabling organizations to embrace that?
Thank you. If we go back pre-pandemic, and you look at the largest 2,000 companies in the world, you take their revenue, and then you compare it to today, they've grown by about 25%. If you look at cumulative inflation, it's also grown by about 25%. But during that same time, this group of the largest companies grew their profitability by almost 50% and value by more than 50%. So the reason I tell you that is when we look at now what's likely to happen next. And when we talk about change, I think as the partners of Amazon, this is probably the organization that can drive the most change in the world at the most critical time. And so when you look at what happens next, I think that we're going to go into the largest increase in human productivity ever in history in these coming years. During that whole 5 years, net employment in those companies only grew 8%. I think that's going to be normal. So I think as partners, 3 big things we can do. One is we're going to continue with efficiency, but you heard Matt talk about it. It's a shift back to growth in customer. And not only can we re-engage with our customer, but the value to our customer's customer. That's 1. 2, I think we can lead the way in what I call 10x data and AI partnerships. We're doing a lot with Amazon on these unconventional partnerships. One is 5 big cancer care centers coming together with multiple technology companies, multiple consulting companies. We can be at the very center of creating these new partnerships. And then lastly, I think we can bring everyone along to truly democratize the access to certifications, to Gen AI, to data, and not leave anyone behind.
Thank you, Brad. So, we need to close it out here, Amanda. So I'm looking for your really tight top tip for the group on how they should think about embracing this change.
Don't try and boil the ocean. Choose 1 or 2 high-value use cases, put the right cross-functional team around it to drive it, and I encourage you to bring in an external perspective. It's very valuable.
Fantastic. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.